Hello, my name is Ash, a counselor in training. This is my Relatable study podcast for individuals who need help studying for their NCE, CPCE, and other related counseling exams. I'm going to go through many questions from multiple resources and make the answers relatable to both you and me. So get your listening ears on and let's get studying. What is utilitarianism? It was first introduced by John Stuart Mill. Basically, it is the consequences in relation to the resulting outcome. So, an overall goal is created that is constructive and provides positive consequences for the majority of the people. For example, the community is going to build a new park that is inclusive to individuals who may have a disability or are handicapped, but it can also include families and other members of the community. So this goal of creating a park that is inclusive provides a positive outcome for the majority of the people. The statement, the ego is dependent on the id, would most likely reflect the work of A. Erik Erikson, B. Sigmund Freud, C. J. Haley, or D. Arnold Lazarus, William Perry, and Robert Keegan. The ego is dependent on the id is the work of Sigmund Freud. The only reason why I remember that is because there was a lot of connections with the ego, the id, and the superego with Sigmund Freud way back in the day when I was in my undergrad, because Sigmund Freud had a big ego. You could say it was his super ego. Can you identify what I just did? It was a little funny joke to help you remember. What is the role and scope of a clinical psychologist? A clinical psychologist can conduct psychotherapy or any other types of therapies as well, in which they can help individuals and groups in a number of settings, such as hospitals, independent practices, counseling centers, even residential facilities. The only difference that separates clinical psychologists from psychiatrists is that clinical psychologists cannot order any labs or prescribe prescription drugs. That is the only difference that I am aware of. They are quite common to find if you look up counselors or therapists online or through PsychNet. A husband found that his wife had an affair with one of her colleagues that he admits that they have been drifting apart since having children and expressing his hurts and his doubts about learning about her infidelity and her affair. The wife appears regretful and expresses that she wants to fix things in their marriage of 20 years. This is their first time in counseling. All of the following immediate goals for therapy are appropriate, except help the couple process the events that lead up to the current problem, help the couple learn and apply better communication, or recommend any medication without any psychotherapeutic intervention. It was the last one. Recommend only medication without any psychotherapeutic intervention. In this case, it's couples therapy and their first time in therapy. Recommending medication to couples will not solve any immediate problems, but helping the couple process the events that lead up to the current problem and help the couple learn and apply better communication are appropriate goals to work on. This can also be applied in a group setting. In my experience, I have worked in a lot of groups in my internship/field placement where the group didn't need any medication, but we have been learning how to work on our communication skills and process any problems that come up. What information is protected under the HIPAA privacy rule? First off, HIPAA is Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. That's what HIPAA stands for. Secondly, the privacy rule is defined by the protective information that includes any information about clients, such as conversations between doctors and other healthcare providers, medical records, billing, and just in general, any form of health information. And the procedures will include limited access and disclosure. So I cannot go and request my sister's documents from the time she went to therapy, nor can she get access to my records from my therapy. It would be under the privacy rule under HIPAA. We are protected under the privacy rule unless something comes up, and that something comes up would be court subpoenaed, and those records need to be accessible. But that is a topic for another episode. And with that is our 5 questions. So that's all for now. Thanks for listening. Keep calm and study on.